Welcome back to the channel. We have a lot of interesting information coming out lately about XRP. Why? Suddenly everybody wants to talk about XRP, all these professionals, all the large financial institutions going deep on DLT and admitting a lot of things that are actually quite interesting. Why'd they have to come out recently and speak heavily about bridge currencies? What's a bridge currency? Is XRP a bridge currency? Why'd they have to come out recently in a bunch of different documents, the large financial institutions, and talk about siloing and fragmentation again? Why? Is that increasing or decreasing? You tell me. Huh? If it's increasing, they would need bridge currencies, would they not? Right. Let me ask you another question before we get into this article. You're going to hear, you've been hearing about, and you're going to hear a lot about liquidity. Have you been looking at the actual, not only the numbers, have you been looking at everything that liquidity is tied up into? The liquidity they're talking about. Have you looked into that? Have you looked into who affects that liquidity? And now I'm going to ask the most important question. Oh, it's an important one. Does anything negate those activities? Huh? Is anything? Right. You and I know the members. Okay. I have an article coming up. That's a majorly important question, right? When you have the answer to that, it's going to make you look at all of these different articles like this one. Wait, I was going to wait on it, but I'm not going to. I might as well bring it up here. It makes you look at articles like this with a quizzical eye. Here's this article. Fed turns on the liquidity hose. XRP ready to ignite. Now, listen, I believe XRP is going to ignite because of the bank money, interbank payments, RWA, payroll, things like that. You heard me say that before. But you're going to see things like this. Now, here's the question about this. Do they know the truth? Is this a tactic? You know, it's like an adult, in my opinion. This is what this seems like. Once more, it says Fed turns on liquidity hose. Oh, that's good, right? Everything's going to ignite. Oh, Bitcoin, XRP, because the Fed's activity. Is that so? Are you sure about that? Remember the question I asked earlier. And yes, I'm going to jump around. I need to keep things interesting. Is that accurate? Should you be looking at this with a quizzical eye? So what this is akin to is... You remember the adults when we were younger. Some people would like learn magic and stuff like that, and they would make something disappear, pull a quarter from behind your ear. This is akin to when you used to have that one, not adults, they weren't adults. They were like our older cousins. They're older teenagers. We're younger. You know, we're not even teenagers yet. And they would have a piece of candy, and they would put the candy in the palm of their hand, and you think they're going to give you the candy, and then they did something. I don't know. They learned some kind of magical trick or whatever, the illusions. And then they go like this. And when you open their hand, there's nothing there. You thought you were going to get the candy. You got excited. Yay, I'm going to have some candy. I don't know why I said candy like that. I just did. It just came out. I liked it. I did. You might not like I liked it. But you thought you were going to get the candy. Yay, I'm going to get the candy. And there's no candy there. Where'd it go? I don't know. It was illusory. It was a phantasmagoria. It was a trick. Is this liquidity real? And no, I'm not going to let you get away with it, just like you don't let me get away with things. I'm not asking, is it real? Because it's coming from the Fed turns on the liquidity. Are you really? All right, not going beyond that, going beyond the superficial. Is this legit? Is this going to make an impact? I mean, there's no guarantees in anything, but is something missing here? Huh? Once again, if you haven't seen that members only video, the last one that I put out, watch that a couple days back. Watch that. Take that information. Go look at it for yourself. Run it through every search engine, or some of you using AI. It doesn't matter. Run it through everything, that information, and then ask yourself that same question. Once you see things for yourself, I'm going to leave that there. Okay. That's a bombshell in itself. If people are, if they're interested in value, listen, not financial advice, but one must know what is real from what is illusory when it comes to the potentiality of making capital and what can happen. What's a real catalyst versus an illusory catalyst? Because if you don't know what's an illusory catalyst, you may make the wrong moves. I mean, I like to know the truth. I like to know the real. Strip away all the facades. I don't need you. Take your anything that's not real, take it away. Let me see the raw picture. I want to see the snaggle tooth. Yeah, I want to see the snaggle tooth. I want to see the bald spot. I want to see the hairline going back. I want to see the wrinkles. I want to see everything. Strip this down. I like the truth better than anything else. I'm not like other people. I'm not asking you to be as I am. And I'm not trying to be like you. I'm just representing myself. So when you come here, I'm giving you information that's raw. This is a bombshell. Why are they doing that? Do they not know? I'm asking you a question. Do they not know what I'm speaking about? The members know. Is it that they don't know, right? Or is it that they know and they're deceiving people? Which one is it? I'm just asking. I'm not even positing to you. I'm simply asking questions. You tell me. All right, now we're going to move on. See, that gets me fired up. It's like, it just gets me fired up. And then if you understand why the Fed was forced, and it wasn't for the reasons they're telling everyone, we went over this in detail. If you know the real reason that the Fed had to in quantitative tightening, that tells you everything you need to know because it gives you a starting point. That's like the top of the rabbit hole. Then you go in the rabbit hole. You're like, whoa, what is this? Oh, by the way, wait a minute. I had another article like that. And it was speaking about an individual who everybody should be keeping their eyes on. I don't have it up here, but I know I have it on my phone saved. I save everything that I can. Folks, I'm telling you right now, I do not trust the U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. I mean, no disrespect. I'm just calling it how I see it. Now, there was an article, if you look this up, I don't have it here to put on the thing right now. I have it on my phone, but you could type this into a Google search. Now they're saying, well, the leaders of the Fed should come from those particular districts. Look that up. And I'm saying to myself, wait a minute, but why is it? This is coming from the U.S. Treasury Secretary. Folks, if you understand what's going on between those two entities, this affects the bank coins greatly. It tells one why the system is being brought down. There's a war going on inside the system. The people don't even know. Now, it's up to the people to decide. Is there capital? It's not far as the bank coins, but in bank accounts. Let me clarify. Inside bank accounts are people's savings and their checkings accounts. Is that value at risk? That's up to the people to decide. That's up to them to decide, but they can't decide if they don't understand what's going on. There is a war within the system, and it's multi-layered. The small and medium-sized banks versus the large banks, the larger banks versus the Fed, because they didn't like how the Fed is treating them. They never did. They said, folks, it's so hard. I had to let that steam off because I'm trying not to give a lot away. If you watch the last 7 members only videos, I don't care if you put them on fast forward, but that information, if you take those articles, that information is so powerful. It is, because it shows what's legit happening. There's a war going on. And the reason I said that is because there's a reason why the large banks were upset with the Fed. Why was that? Why was that? You think everything's just good at the Fed? With the Fed, between the Fed and the banks, you think that? No. They're telling their own story. This is not me just saying stuff. They're telling their own story. There's a reason they're turning to XRP, to XRPL, Hedera, Chainlink. There's a reason. that they're letting the system burn. Let me go off just this one time. Yeah, my energy is a little bit higher because I get excited with this. It's exciting. I'm passionate about it, even though, you have to control your passions, of course. My word. There's a reason they're turning towards the new financial system. It's not just talk, at least not when you come here. I know what I'm seeing. I'm uncovering, I'm unveiling these things. I'm presenting it to the people. And once more, if you don't know that information, I don't think people fully grasp why something like XRP is going to be so powerful. And I said something like XRP, that's XRP, Hedera, all of these bank coins, okay? But the U.S. Treasury Secretary is backing that. Because of this war between the two major entities, once again, like I said, you go back and watch like the last 7 members only video. I promise that information is so potent. You're going to see a clear picture. You can't just watch one because it's a series. It's a series for a reason, or else I would have just made them all standalone videos. They're not. And they're leading up to a major delivery that I'm trying to put it together as best I can to make it a powerful shot. That's all. But if you understand what the U.S. Treasury Secretary is doing, why do you care where the leaders of the Fed are coming from? Mind your own business. This is not something I'm just saying. The Fed has asked that same question over and over again. And there's this, everyone knows in the financial industry, there's this juxtaposition, this shouldering for position between who's in charge, U.S. Treasury or the Fed. And they don't like each other either. You can listen to their own words. Look what they're doing. Look what they're doing towards each other. This is not a game. This is very serious. We're talking about, we're bearing witness to and speaking about the fall of the current financial system. That's not a game. And hence why they're instituting the new financial system and looking to profit off of it and looking at how to utilize it and taking it from the people. Their psychological tactics have been highly effective. They've shaken so many people out of XRP and Bitcoin and all these different things that are potent. It's unbelievable. They've been highly effective. They're taking over, just like I said years ago. You can see the inexorable path. And they've been highly eleemosynary with the information that they're putting out. Well, look into that. So you have this article, you have that article, you have this whole, who's doing these transactions? Who is this? XRP is not leaving the $1 billion club. Who is that? Who is the cause of this? What is the cause of this? Well, while everybody's quiet. No one's looking. Crypto is down, the crypto industry. And then the mainstream media goes wild with negative news. So many people when it comes to any type of bear energy, bear market type energy, everybody just runs away. They just leave. They run away. And I get it because there's this this wave, this tsunami of negativity. I get it. That's on purpose. That's on purpose. It's designed that way. It's the ultimate smokescreen, right? Right. You find something, you find land that is fertile, right? This is symbolic, of course. You find land that is fertile. You want it, but someone's there. You do everything in your power, albeit you're doing it covertly, to make their stay there uncomfortable. Maybe you play loud music, I don't know. Produce some foul smells, I don't know. You make that land undesirable. And then people leave, they leave. Well, while they're leaving, you're digging in the land for gold. You're planting crops in the fertile soil. You're reaping all these benefits. You're testing that land out. You got big plans for that land. That's what they're doing here. The negative news, the manipulation clearly is manipulated. Clearly. All the while they're testing out all the systems. All the while they're shaking hands, making partnerships and deals. Didn't you see the news the other day? Ripple all around the world. Ripple's doing all these deals. Singapore, MENA region, UAE. They're doing all this. Oh, in Africa, they had this, now there's a financial system that's integrating XRP in Africa. They're going to use the Trojan horse, RLUSD, which is nothing without XRP because it is the bridge currency. If they want to use RLUSD to its maximum potentiality, then XRP is involved. But, they're doing it. Yeah, right. They're doing everything everywhere while no one's paying attention. Most people are not. They come back when everything's so bullish. It's unbelievable. Then they come back. There's a reason for that. It's designed that way. Network throughput and payment volume are two crucial areas where XRP continues to outperform. My apology. My lips are peeling like crazy. I have my chapstick right here. I put some on. Just know I did. It's just like, it doesn't matter. The dry lips are going to defeat the chapstick every single time. It's just that the way that it is real life. All right. Don't look at my lips. That sounds, that sounds wild. Somebody in the back of your house. What are you listening to? It's like, oh, no, this is Alpha Name. This is the guy who does crypto videos. My apologies. Let me laugh sometime. Take those powerful hands of yours, hit that like button. Okay. But who's the cause of this? The XRP ledger, despite all that, it says two crucial areas where XRP continues to outperform the wider market. The XRP ledger is steadily operating above the $1 billion per day threshold in both payments and successful transactions. Who's the cause of this? Who's the cause of this, huh? You tell me. Interesting things going on, are they not? You think that's it? It's not it. It's not it. Then we get to articles like this. Ripple CTO breaks silence. How many times can David Schwartz break silence? What's he saying? What is he saying today? Why is it coming out again? You think this is for retail? Is just for? Let's hear what he has to say, and then we'll go from there. Ripple CTO breaks silence and publishes his full XRP Ledger Hub matrix. Is this for you? Who's this for? Let's read. Ripple CTO David Schwartz finally opened his XRPL hub to the public, posting uptime stats, peer data, traffic charts, turning a quiet internal moment into the most talked about setup in the XRP community today. Oh, well, he's presenting it to the public. Is this for the public? You don't think this is for the eyes of large financial institutions? Who's the target? Who did David Schwartz build the XRPL for? You think he just gave up that dream? Huh? He just built the XRPL for the banks and large financial institutions, non-banking financial institutions as well. But no, he just cares about retail now. No. This is where one must humble themselves, right? Must humble themselves. If one humbles themselves, they will see that although the ego tells us, well, I'm glad he gave this to us. He gave it to me. I can read this now. If one humbles themselves, right? You put that to the side. It's like, wait a minute, not really. I get to see this. But is it for me? We get to see a lot of things. Is it for us? I don't know about that. No. For the banks, financial institutions. Here they are. They can easily access this information now, right? Take a look at it. Look-see. Let me read this little tidbit here. Ripple CTO David Schwartz broke his silence about his long-running XRPL hub by posting its operational data, network details, and performance graphs, turning a low-profile internal node into a public reference point for anyone running an XRPL setup. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not one of those people. I'm always right. No, everybody else is wrong. I'm right. I'm not that kind of person. I'm a learner. Like Socrates said, a wise person knows that they know nothing. That doesn't mean you know nothing. That means you always have the capacity to learn, grow, because you operate in humility and understand that there are factors, there are variables that maybe you didn't know about. But if you don't humble yourself, you will never know. In the very nature of beings like myself, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Plotinus, Zeno, Parmenides, etc., Even I was reading about Frederick Douglass recently. Any type of intellectual individual, our very nature is to learn and gain and grow. Infinite potential of growth. And to have that, one must be humble. Power and humility. Power and silence as well. Albeit most people don't believe such. They've been taught in the reverse. Power is being loud. Power is being arrogant. Not so. The loud is very, very transparent, easily to defeat the loud. They let you know everything that they're thinking, most of the things that they're thinking, let you, there's a window into their weaknesses, etc. The silent, how do you figure them out? They've said nothing, and they might be the most intelligent. They might be the most sophisticated, complicated, and yet they are silent. That's power. Humility, one who's always learning. They listen more than they speak. That is a strong person. They're gathering information from there and here, everywhere, the high, the low. And at the end of the day, if I can use such a term, they have all of the knowledge, while most people only have their limited knowledge because they stand here or there. They're not here and there. They only learn from here or there. The silent, the humble, they know the knowledge of here and there. There's a difference. Let's get back to crypto. Hold on a second here. You're pontificating and things like that. Come on now. We're not here to share wisdom. We're here to talk crypto. I'm putting it on you. It was all on you. Schwartz disclosed. Okay, so he gave them all this information. The hub is under capacity, which explains why peer reservations have not been needed. Yet Schwartz said he can enable them if demand surges. You don't think that this might act to provoke demand? People are going to be talking about this. The information is going to be spread. Word of mouth is very powerful. He's a very smart man. I'm quite sure he would be an interesting opponent at chess. Although, Mr. Schwartz, I mean no disrespect, I do believe I would beat you at chess. You'd better be practicing. You're not the only brilliant one, although I respect your intelligence greatly. I believe in myself and my own intelligence. I know my IQ, I know my test scores, I know what I did in school, college, etc. I believe I would beat you. And I would be vicious with you, sir. Yes, I will. I'll be very vicious with you in a chess match. I would. Because I want to dominate you from the outset to show you. I want to see you under pressure. That's what I want to do. I want to see you under pressure. So I pressure you at first. I won't tell you what opening I would use. And see how you react to that. Then I would drag you into deep waters with middle game. That's exactly what I would do. Let you stew about it a little bit. Let you question my tactics before I close you out. Which I would do in a very strategic fashion. I would just boa constrictor you. I won't say what ending or closing I would use, but I would just boa constrictor you, just closing in on you and just until there's nothing left. That's how I would envision a chess match going, but you might be extremely good. Once more, you are the silent type when it comes to things of this nature. But it's fun to dream. It's just a dream, folks. It's just a vision, all right? It's like, I don't know what you want to call it. All right. But I would love it. You don't want to challenge people that are strong? There's nothing more worthy than that, challenging the strong. They're the only ones that are fun to go up against. And I do believe myself to be one of the strong, period, at everything. That's it. It's just my own self-confidence. I'm not saying that you have to agree with that. Make your weak, man, that's your opinion. I've never seen that. I've never seen it. Not arrogant. I'm just saying I believe in myself and you should believe in yourself as well. The post came out when there was a lot of talk about XRPL programmability again. In the reply, Schwartz disagreed with the idea of adding features only to allow validators to make money from validation. In his opinion, the rationale was weak and does not align with the chain's design. It is more compelling to let XRP holders stake for revenue, but that alone is not enough to warrant major changes. That's my I'm questioning everything I'm reading voice. I'm questioning everything. The bottom line is that he thinks XRP Ledger's financial primitives should be used in more situations. Really? What do you mean by that? Elaborate further, sir. Not just for quick payouts to a small group. Oh, I agree with that for sure. This was made for the big time. And what he's saying is, in one particular way, he's not compromising that big time nature of the XRPL and XRP. I like that, sir. Stay in the big times. Oh, I have so many articles, and yet I took my time with that few. So I have no idea how long this video is now. I'm trying to not, I have a good time making these videos. I'm trying not to make them too long. All right. Although people could just literally press the fast forward button. I don't know if people want to do that or not. I don't know. I'm not suggesting it. I'm just saying, because I've gotten complaints in the past, not recently. They're like, oh, make all the length of them. It's like, you could just press fast forward, couldn't you? Something like that. I don't know. Anyway, that stuff sticks here. I don't forget anything. I don't. Anyway. Oh, another little piece of good XRP news. Here we go. So here's another article. XRP scores new listing on Hong Kong's public listed digital asset platform. Everything's happening so quickly. Why? What is this rush for? Let's keep going. And I'm talking about in every possible way. Infrastructures, partnerships, meetings, legislation, listings. Everything's happening very quickly now, is it not? XRP has secured a new listing on the SFC licensed Hong Kong exchange. This follows as XRP continues to attract interest in the market. I'm scrolling down. They've got like ads and pictures. What are the pictures about? And why are the pictures always so big? I just want to ask that the article right. The pictures are huge. Like, I would prefer you just put an ad there, get some money, put a little tiny ad there, and get some, and make some money. But the pictures, I don't know. It's a pet peeve of mine. So I had to scroll past that. That's why I was just like, this is the time killer. OSL, a public, oh my word. What just happened? What did you do to me? I stumbled over my words. It wasn't my fault, it's yours. No, I'm kidding. It was my fault. Taking accountability is an important aspect to a person's character. OSL, a publicly listed, see, I took my time, digital asset platform. Somebody said that out there. I know you did. I know somebody typed out, take your time, Mick. I took my time. I heard you. A publicly listed digital asset platform and exchange in Hong Kong has announced the listing of XRP, the fourth largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization, in an official blog post. OSL, yes, I ran those sentences together on purpose. I'm trying to save time. OSL Hong Kong announced that XRP is now available on the platform with its deposits and withdrawals now open. The recent XRP listing expands OSL HK's token lineup, with the token available to professional investors via flash trade and OTC. 3 XRP pairs are available for trading on the platform's flash trade, including XRP/HKD, XRP USD, and XRP USDT. OSL transformed last year into a company fully dedicated to digital assets and completed $300 million of equity financing in July this year. All right, now we're going to get into a little bit of Bitcoin news. A little air in my chest. I just ran out of red curry sauce. Oh, that red curry was the sauce. So good. Unbelievable. And I need to get some more. And I'll tell you what I had recently. I was trying on something. It was a lemon pepper seasoning. But the lemon is such a dominating flavor. I just couldn't enjoy it. Is any of you like that lemon pepper out there? I know some of you are probably very good at cooking. Professional cooks probably. Which I in the future I do plan on mastering. I'm a very good cook. Don't get it twisted. I'm a very good cook. And I have a lot of experience, but I always feel like there's another level I can reach, and I want to be the best of the absolute best. But the reason I say that is because I know some of you probably are like, Mick, you sprinkle on a little bit, you take a pinch of it here and there, and you probably can make the absolute best meal with that lemon pepper seasoning, right? I get it. I am not at that level. I'm just saying, that's why I have that realization. I'm not at that level, all right? Okay. All right, but I will get there. Don't you look down upon me. Not that it would matter, because I'm going to climb the mountain whether you look down or not. I'm climbing that mountain. But anyway, that flavor was too dominating. So let's get to a little bit of Bitcoin news. All right, people. Okay, I hope you're having a good day out there. All right. Every day it's paramount that we enjoy the day. All right. We're not here to not enjoy Earth. We're here. We have to have some enjoyment. All right. Okay. So we make that ourselves. Bitcoin today falls to $89,000. Strategy CEO Feng Li calms crypto market, says no BTC sales until 2065. What do you mean by that, sir? Hold on. Let's find out what he's talking about. All right. So strategy CEO Feng Li stepped forward on Saturday to steady shaken sentiment after Bitcoin briefly fell below $88,000. Who's he speaking to? Who's he trying to calm? Just the regular retail? Retail does what it wants. There is no one who can control retail. That's not going to happen. Sometimes you have to let nature take its course. Wu Wei, go with the natural flow of things, sir. Like Master Lao would teach, Lao Tzu, or Confucius. Wu Wei, you got to go with the flows, natural flow sometimes. Not so much resistance, right? And Master Bruce Lee, who I learned a ton from when I was young. I read the Tao of Jeet Kune Do, all that stuff. I have his books in my library right now, okay? Most of them. The ones even people don't read, I have those as well. And he used to speak about that, letting things happen on his own, his fighting philosophy. The punch happens on its own. That's just a version of Wu Wei, right? But anyway, but that's not what this individual is doing. They must place their thoughts on the people. They're going to calm you. You're not going to, no, they're not going to calm themselves. No, he's going to calm you. I don't know. Is there something strange about that, thinking you're going to affect people that you don't know that deeply? Like you want to affect those people that deeply is quite the interesting mentality, is it not? It's a little bit arrogant. I mean, no disrespect. Anyway, so after Bitcoin briefly fell below $88,000, a drop triggered by more than $500 million in liquidations on Friday, with weakened volatility intensifying and thinning liquidity amplifying market swings. Lee used a CNBC Power Lunch appearance to directly address growing investor concerns. Why would they be concerned? Like, if you're doing your job, strategy, what is strategy? What is the depth of what strategy does in a meeting with clients? That's what I would want to know, because if you're informing, let's say you have your researchers, you have your analysts, okay. If they're informing the people, clients, I'm assuming that's who you're talking to, about the truth of the markets, then why would they be concerned? You're informing them, and I'm sure you're showing them, manila folders, dossiers filled with information about states wanting Bitcoin in the future, central banks wanting Bitcoin in the future, countries wanting Bitcoin in the future, large asset managers are going to continue to flood in, businesses are going to be flooding into Bitcoin, which most of them are not into Bitcoin as of yet, but they are to come. So that's a tsunami of trillions of dollars coming to Bitcoin. So there's no way it stays down, but I mean, it's a natural part of the process, the up and down swings of everything. Everything has its pendulum. The pendulum swings equally to the left as it does to the right, in different degrees, of course. I mean, so are the clients not of that understanding? I don't understand that, but let's go here. Let's continue. Lee said that Strategy, the largest corporate holder of Bitcoin, does not plan to sell its holdings until 2065. That, sir, can you actually honor that? I don't, and I don't mean this as any disrespect or personal. I don't trust you or any of these other CEOs because you say something. I don't trust the central banks. So many times things have been said or timelines have been put out by large financial institutions, even the Bank of International Settlements, and they never held firm to those. The Fed used to put out timelines. They didn't hold firm to those. They didn't. They violated multiple times those timelines that they put out there. So I don't trust the word of any of these entities. I mean, could this still, regardless of whether I trust them or not, could this be used to calm clients? I guess, sure. But once again, I think let the truth stand. Show them the facts of the bullish nature of Bitcoin, and whatever they want to do, that's up to them. I know as a business, you can't, in your line of business, you don't want to operate like that. It's not that you can't, but I think that's the best policy. Let the truth stand. It speaks for itself. So if someone wants to go against those powerful catalysts, that's on them. In my humble opinion, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. But it says his remarks appear to have cooled the atmosphere. Really? So you're attributing. All right, maybe he did have an effect. Am I being fair? I'm considering the possibility, but all right. His remarks appear to have cooled the atmosphere. Bitcoin trading volume has dipped roughly 4%, suggesting that sellers are stepping back as the price steadies near $89,691. All right. So you're giving him the credit for any type of stabilization. All right, got you. Even as sentiment stabilizes, Bitcoin's technical setup remains in focus. The cryptocurrency continues to trade within a broader 18-month cup and handle base. The structure is still considered valid, with a recent handle retracement offering a clean reset for mean reversion. Oh, yeah. Listen, I'm not worried about Bitcoin, not even a little bit, and nor am I worried about gold either. I think they're both going to do fantastic in the future. And not forever. I'm not of that forever group. But for quite some time, I think they're going to be super bullish. Bitcoin, however, remains below the Bollinger midline. Now, the first major resistance at around $100,308 as per the CoinSpeaker report. All right, so now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.